So what are attachment styles? Pretty much. Attachment styles are emotional patterns that you formed in childhood. Attachment styles are emotional patterns that you formed in childhood. It's based on how love, safety, and connection were modeled to you. So when you think of your childhood, how was love modeled to you? How was love modeled to you? How was connection modeled to you? How was safety modeled to you? Do you think you felt connected to your parents? Did you feel connected to your caregivers? So pretty much your attachment styles is dependent on how you formed emotional patterns in childhood, how love, safety, connection was modeled to you in childhood. Now, these patterns show up in how you handle closeness or distance. Your attachment styles shows up in how you handle closeness or distance in relationship. It shows up in how you respond to conflict. Your attachment styles shows up in how you respond to conflict. It shows up in how you view yourself in relationship. Your attachment styles shows up in how you view yourself in relationship. Remember, I said attachment styles are emotional patterns that you formed in childhood. It's also based on how love, safety, and connection was modeled to you in childhood. Now, these patterns will show up again in how you handle closeness or distance, in how you respond to conflict. That's how we know what your attachment style is. It shows up in how you view yourself in relationships. So pretty much there are 4 attachment styles. There are 4 attachment styles. There's the secure attachment, there's the anxious attachment, there's the avoidant attachment, and disorganized attachment style, which is also known as the anxious avoidant attachment. Again, secure attachment, anxious attachment, avoidant attachment, and disorganized attachment, also known as the anxious avoidant attachment. Now let's talk about the secure attachment. What is a secure attachment? How do you know that you're securely attached? Now, for someone who is securely attached, this statement will resonate with you. I'm comfortable with love. I trust. I communicate. I'm okay with closeness. Does that resonate with you? I am comfortable with love. I trust. I communicate. I am okay with closeness. Now, if you were securely attached, this is you. Then people with secure attachment will find it easy to ask for what they need without fear. They will find it so easy asking for what they need in their relationship without any fear. They would also respect boundaries. So when you find people not respecting your boundaries, what does that tell you? What that tells you is that this person is not securely attached. Because if the person is securely attached, they would respect your boundaries. Another thing is, if you have a secure attachment style, you'll be able to offer love without anxiety. And it will be so easy for you to offer love without anxiety. Like, it won't be hard for you to love other people. It won't be hard for you to show love, especially in your relationship. You wouldn't be the type that will be waiting for the other shoe to drop. You wouldn't be the type that will be so worried that, if I love this person so much, what if he cheats on me? If I love this lady so much, what if she cheats on me? What if she's no longer here? What if she does this? What if she does that? You know, people like that, they are always waiting for the other shoe to drop. They find it hard to completely be themselves in relationship. That means they are insecurely attached. So if you have a secure attachment, you will find it very easy to ask for what you need in your relationship without fear. You respect people's boundaries and you offer love without anxiety. A very common example for a secure attachment is, if I feel hurt, I can talk about it without fear of being abandoned. If I feel hurt by my partner or my friend, I find it easy to talk about it without the fear of being abandoned. How often is it for most people who are insecurely attached to feel this way? Very rare, because the mere thought of talking about their feelings with other people gives them anxiety. So if you're securely attached, you find it so easy to talk about how you feel if someone hurts you without the fear of abandonment. And usually, these are people that are raised with consistent love, people that are raised with safety and emotional support. So if you were raised with consistent love, you were raised with safety and emotional support, you will find it easy to be yourself in a relationship. Now that's secure attachment. Next, we're going to talk about the anxious attachment. The anxious attachment pretty much are people that they do crave for love, but they also have the fear that the love is not real or the person is not going to stick around for the long haul. Anxiously attached people crave for love. They want to be loved. They want to be loved, but they find it hard to believe deep down in their heart that this person will stay with them and this person will not leave them. These are the kind of people that crave for love, but fear that it will leave me. Oh, I'm not so sure that this love will last. Let me not allow myself to relax because I'm not sure that this relationship is going to last. I'm not sure this feeling that I have is going to last. And for people like that, they find it hard to even relax and enjoy their successes. Once they've achieved something, they find it hard to sit and just enjoy the moment. They are constantly worried that this success they've achieved, that something will happen that will take it all away. And they always overthink. People with anxious attachment will overthink, they will overgive, and they will over apologize. People with anxious attachment will overgive, they will overly think things, and they will overly apologize. Now, if you look around you in this our culture as Nigerians, you know that we apologize a lot. Oh, sorry, can I get that? Oh, sorry, what does that tell you? No, I'm not diagnosing anyone, but when you meet people like that, it tells you the attachment style. It tells you that this person is not securely attached. And if you're someone like that, I want you to pay attention to yourself as I'm speaking. And just take note of this, because the whole idea of showing up here live every Tuesday is to educate you. The more you're psychologically educated, the more you're able to make informed choices and to start healing. So people with anxious attachment, they overthink, they overanalyze, just simple situations that they don't even need to. You find them overthinking, overanalyzing, and trying to look for the worst case scenarios. And they are the ones that would give, like they are so caring to a fault. They can give and give you their life. And deep down in their hearts, they still feel like what they are giving you is not enough. Because they are not giving from a right place. They are giving from a place of inconsistency. They grew up in inconsistency and unpredictable childhood. And because there's this inconsistency, and sometimes they grew up in low economic backgrounds, poverty-stricken environment, where sometimes they had, sometimes they didn't have. And this inconsistency does not allow them to be okay in themselves and to believe that if I give you something, it should be okay, it should be enough. There's always a part of them that feels like what they are giving to you is not enough, so they have to keep giving and keep giving. They over-apologize as well because they feel like, remember that place of inconsistency, the fact that I said I'm sorry, I don't think it is enough. I think I have to keep saying it. I have to keep apologizing until this person believes that I am sorry. But why do you have to do that? Why do you have this incessant need to over-apologize? Just keep apologizing. Why can't you just believe that the person has heard you and that is okay? People with anxious attachment, they feel anxious if a partner pulls away. These are the kind of people that will not even respect their partner's space. Once they're in a relationship, it is wahala. They would expect their partner to constantly be with them, whether physically or virtually. So if we are not physically together, you should check in. As if, it's a job. You should check in. You should message me. You can't just go like 4 hours, 5 hours. You're not talking to me. Why? Why can't they do that? They are grown adults. They have things to do with their time. Why are you monitoring them? People with anxious attachments, they need constant reassurance. These are people that need constant reassurance. I want to be constantly assured that we are together, that you love me. You see them always asking, are you really sure you love me? Do you love me? Are you sure? Where is this relationship heading? And that can be really, really frustrating. I'm telling you, that can be so frustrating. I've sat across people in therapy that will tell me, Omo, I just sincerely wish that my partner would not do this. Like what else do I need to do for this woman to know that I love her? What else should I do? It's like she does not believe that I love her. I keep telling her that I love her, but she does not believe. And then when you sit across the spouse, she tells you her own side. Yes, he says he loves me. I hear him, but I don't know. I just have this feeling. Where is the feeling coming from? You just have the feeling. Where is the feeling coming from? Where is that feeling coming from? So it could be that you are insecurely attached. It could be that you have an anxious attachment. A typical example is when someone would say, oh, he read my message, but he didn't reply. Maybe I said too much. Maybe let me go and edit that message. So I sincerely wish African parents are open to therapy. My dear sister, I wish that as well. But if wishes were horses. So you find them, when they send messages to their partners or their friends, they overanalyze it. Did he read the message? He read it. It shows double tick. How come he did not reply to my message? He should have replied to my message now. Replying to my message would mean that he understands what I'm saying. What if the person just wants to take their time to understand what you said so they are able to give you a proper response? Is it okay to allow that? But they find it hard to allow that space. And then you would see the guy saying things like, she didn't say, I love you today. Maybe she's tired of me. Like, she didn't say, I love you. Like, why should someone be telling you, I love you every blessed day? I don't understand. Why? Why do you have this incessant need to hear, I love you from the people that are close to you, or from your partner, the people you're dating, or your close friends? Why? That's the question. And then you would say, no, Dr. Abi, don't say that. If somebody loves you, they should prove it. They should say it. Yes, they should say it. But should they say it to a point of repetition? What happens with the same I love you yesterday? Don't you believe that the person means it and it can cover you for the next day? If this is you, it means that you have an anxious attachment style and you need to heal. And all of this started in childhood. Like I said, most people with anxious attachment grew up in childhood that felt inconsistent. Sometimes there, sometimes not. There was no consistency with love, with affection. And for some of them, there was even nothing like that. The next attachment style is avoidant attachment. So avoidant attachment is where people feel like love is pressure. They feel like love is pressure. They try to protect themselves by staying distant, staying away from love, commitment. These kinds of people struggle with commitments. Like, they struggle with commitments in a relationship. These are the kinds of people that once the person starts saying, well, this relationship, we've been together for so number of years. What do you think should be the next step? What are our goals? They'll say things like, well, there's nothing wrong with the way things are. There's nothing wrong with the way things are. Things are already okay. Why do we need to change things? Why do we need to move things forward? I am okay with the way things are. This tells you that this person has an anxious and avoidant attachment. People with avoidant attachment, they struggle with vulnerability. They find it very hard to be vulnerable. I'm guilty, but I'm aware of so many things about me. And now I'm healing and doing a lot of work already. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's good to be aware of it. And I'm glad for you that you're doing the work. So people like this, people with avoidant attachment style, they struggle with vulnerability. They find it hard to be vulnerable with other people. They find it hard to expose themselves like that. They are always guarded. They protect their feelings. They protect their emotions. They even protect information about them. They can come off as people that are highly secretive. And they pull away from people when people get too close. They pull away so easily. Like, no, wait. I'll get in touch with you. No, I'll get in touch with you. Why? Because you're coming too close. You're coming too close. And they're like, okay, no, this is suffocating. I don't think I can take this. I think this is too much. Whenever you hear people sound like that, what does that tell you? This person probably has an avoidant attachment. People with avoidant attachment, they feel smothered easily in relationships. They feel like you're smothering them. They feel like you're suffocating them in the relationship. I don't understand. Must we see all the time? No, please, I can't take this. I can't take this. Let's just have some space. And then they'll bring in, let's have a sense of individuality. Yes, I hear you. You need that in an interdependent relationship. But if you're in a codependent relationship and you're sounding like this, then you have an avoidant attachment. A simple example is people who don't do emotional talk. No, I don't do emotional talk, please. I can't even go for therapy. People like that run away from going for therapy because therapy will reveal a lot about you. Therapy will get you to unravel, uncover things about yourself. And this is what I do in trauma therapy. I get my clients to open up, all the layers. We go in layer by layer. But people with avoidant attachment styles can be therapy averse because they don't want to be vulnerable. And they will just, it's easy for them to say, I don't like somebody. I need my space. I don't like this person. Why don't you like this person? I don't know. There's just something about this person. And if you check, there's literally nothing. It's just the avoidant attachment speaking. Because how can you meet someone and you're not patient enough to get to know them? You're not patient enough to see the good side in them. And you just judge them based on maybe the first impression. And you say, just first impression is enough to know somebody. But that's not factual. It's not. What if you met someone, it's the first impression, but you met them on their bad days? Would you use that to assume that is all there is about the person? Whereas we show different sides of ourselves, depending on our trauma, depending on our childhood trauma. We show different sides of ourselves. The healed version, the unhealed version, the version that is trying to heal, the version that is self-aware tomorrow, the version that is emotionally intelligent next tomorrow. Yeah, we show different sides of ourselves to people, depending on how we are attached. So if I am securely attached, I have a secure attachment style, how I show up to people is different from someone who is insecurely attached or someone who has an anxious attachment style. So I can't use just one meeting to analyze someone and just write the person off and say, oh, this is it. So I don't like you. I need my space. I just don't like this person. And then they will use their intuition to explain it away. I just have this feeling. Sometimes it's not true. It's just your trauma that is talking. And people like this are people whose childhood may have been emotionally distant or overly critical. They probably grew up with parents who were emotionally distant, emotionally absent, highly critical of them. Nothing they did was ever good enough for their parent. Nothing. There's always something that they will use to fault them. You washed the plate, you didn't wash the plate very clean enough. You swept the floor, you didn't sweep the floor clean enough. You did this, it wasn't. So these kinds of things that happen in your childhood determines how you are attached. So you turn out to be an adult who is avoidantly attached because of your childhood. Perhaps your childhood love was shown through performance, not emotional presence. You must do something to earn the love of your parents. You must do something. Oh, you swept the floor. Oh, good job. I love you so much. Those were the only times your caregivers ever said, I love you or showed affection. So you grew up just being distant because most of the time, is it not easier to be distant than to be connected with people and then they'll get to see all those flaws of yours? So being distant and avoidantly attached helps you to hide in your shadow. If you're just joining us, we're talking about attachment styles and why you love the way you do and why you sometimes sabotage it. And we've talked about 3 attachment styles. We talked about the secure attachment style. We talked about the anxious attachment. We talked about the avoidant attachment. And now we're talking about the disorganized attachment style. Now, for disorganized attachment style, people with disorganized attachment style will always want love, but they don't feel safe in it. They want love, but they don't feel safe in it. They yearn for love. They crave for love. And when love finally happens, they don't feel safe. They don't feel safe. No matter what the person does, you see them, they are either hot or cold. They have constant mood swings. Other times they are, oh, excited, we are in love. Other times the energy level goes down because they have a disorganized attachment style. And then they push people away. Then they panic when those people leave. It's so confusing. It's really confusing and frustrating if you're dating someone like that. Because you're like, where are you? I don't know where to place you. What do you really want? What makes you happy? I don't know. I don't know what makes me happy. And that's why most guys would say women are like this. For women, you don't really ever know what makes them happy. But that's not true. It's just the type of women that they've been exposed to. Perhaps those women have a disorganized attachment style where they are hot or cold. And they push people away most of the times. And they panic when these people leave. You see them missing these people. Oh, I want this person back. I want to text him. I want to text her. But you were the same person that said you don't want to be with this person. You are inconsistent. And they often come from childhood trauma. This often comes from childhood trauma. If you grew up in an environment where you were abused or there was chaos in your childhood, if you were abused in childhood, if you grew up in a high stress environment where you were exposed to parental conflict, there was neglect, there was abandonment, of course it's going to affect your attachment style. A simple example are people who don't trust anyone. I keep meeting these people, and in fact, today I had a few sessions before I came for this life, and I can tell you, one of the conversation was, I don't know, I just don't trust people. Why don't you trust people? Let's unpack that. Well, my parent, they always make me believe that the world is not safe. Human beings cannot be trusted. My father was betrayed by this person. My mother was betrayed by the other person. And so this was the childhood for her. This was what she grew up around. Now in adulthood, she can't make friends. She doesn't have very close friends, and it is very hard for her to trust people. And she's trying to heal from that. So if you grow up in this kind of environment, in this kind of childhood, there is no way you cannot have a disorganized attachment style. Naija Soja's wife said, the entire world needs therapy and psychoeducation. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Everyone does. So another example is, my partner is kind, but I always expect betrayal. Those ones that they're always waiting. I'm waiting. Like Sabinus, they are observing what's going to happen. This person is going to betray me. This person is going to betray me. I just know it. I just know it. I just know it. And they will become self-fulfilling prophecy, because the person will definitely betray them. Because we attract who we are. We attract what we think. And so when the person betrays them, see, I told you this person was going to betray me, and she did it. This is not good for your nervous system. Let me just tell you, this is not good for your nervous system. You can't live your life like this. You can't live your life like this. You can't live your life not trusting anyone, but you hate being alone. Which one? You have to choose your struggle. You can't live your life not trusting anyone in this world, but you hate being alone. You can get so lonely that you start self-sabotaging behaviors. You start doing things that are not right for you. This is not good for your nervous system at all. And this often comes from having a parent who would love you and is also very afraid of allowing you to be yourself. Most parents are so overprotective. We call them helicopter parent. If you had parents that were overly protective of you, they would love you, but they protect you in such a way that you don't even feel safe stepping out of the house. You go to your friend's place to play, they have a way of keeping tabs on you. Then there is no way you grow up with a secure attachment. So where do these styles come from? Where do your attachment styles come from? Number one, how your parents responded to your emotions. I want you to start thinking, how did my parent respond to my emotions? What did they say to me when I was angry, when I was happy, when I was sad? How did my parent respond to my emotions? Childhood trauma or neglect. Did you have trauma in your childhood? How would you even know if your childhood was traumatic? Why don't you go online and do the ACEs test? I'm going to type it here. Do the ACEs test to know your ACE score. That will tell you if you had any adverse childhood experience or not. Give it a try. And also sit down and think about your childhood. What were the things that happened in your childhood? Now as an adult, you would know if you grew up in a loving family or not. Ask yourself, was my childhood really safe and secure? Would I say I grew up with loving parents? These are questions that you want to ask yourself. It will help you to understand your childhood. Another question is, if I thought I grew up okay, because some people would say, I grew up okay, I turned out okay. How come you have an insecure attachment style? How come you have an avoidant attachment? How come you have an anxious attachment? Then it means that something is wrong. It also comes from the cultural and religious upbringing. What is your culture like? What are the things about your culture that informs your choices and decisions and your behavior and your way of life? Religious upbringing. What's the religion? What are they saying? How does that affect you? How does that impact you? Because a lot of people grew up with religious trauma, and it affects how they are attached. It affects how their beliefs are around relationship, how they see relationship, how they see friendship. And this is where all of this is coming from. It also coming from your survival coping mechanisms. Some people probably grew up in a loving environment. Some people grew up in a loving environment. Some people grew up in an environment where their parents raised them well. They were securely attached. But along the line, because life happened to them, they pick up coping mechanisms or survival mechanisms that is now making them insecurely attached. I mean, you grew up in Africa, in Nigeria. We, in this country, we are in a survival mode, collectively. Yes, everyone. But for those who are in therapy, those who are healing and rewiring their brain, they are coming out of it and moving into thriving mode, moving into growth mode. But majority of Nigerians are in survival mode, and that can contribute to your attachment style. So that's what we've been talking about today. But I want you to know that these are just, they are styles. They are not labels. All right? They are patterns, but they can be relearned. They are patterns that you learned to stay alive. You learn to survive, but you can unlearn them. So how can you do that? Because I know that this is an important conversation. And most of you who are listening to me, you would like to know how to heal your attachment wounds. I'm going to tell you, but I want you to know that it's not a quick fix. You should already know that with me. If you're following me, if you've been listening to me and watching all my videos, you would know by now that we don't do quick fixes here. Because when it comes to healing, inner child work, trauma healing, there are no quick fixes. All right? There are no quick fixes. If anybody promises you a quick fix for your childhood trauma, the person is lying to you and they just want to brainwash you. In fact, you can't even live here and say you're going for a spiritual program in one church or one mosque or one wherever, and they're going to lay hands on you and they're going to heal your trauma. There is nothing like that. And I am proud to say this. You can quote me anywhere. I am a child of God and I am a Christian. There is nothing like that. You would need to go through therapy. You would need to unpack all the things that happen to you. You will need to sit down with someone who understands the dynamics of childhood and how it can affect you in adulthood, who understands that your formative years shapes who you become as an adult and the decisions you make. And these are things you cannot pray away. These are things you cannot lay hands and they disappear, because these are your experiences. They live in your body. So you need therapy. Number one, how you can heal your attachment wounds is therapy and inner child healing. What do you think I was going to say? Go and read that book, go and do this. You need to actively go in and sit across someone and walk through your issues. You need to do that. Only then will you be able to say that you are healing. Because they are tailored interventions just for you. And it's individualized. It's not a one-size-fits-all. Yes, I do trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy, but there are nuances to this. It's not the same for everybody. For each individual, depending on the level to which they've been wounded, the treatment plan is tailored to handle that. So number one, you need therapy and inner child healing. And please, don't just jump into therapy because you want to do therapy. You want to identify the issues you have and you want to pick the right therapist for you. Because As I speak with you, I am fully booked for the next 4 to 6 weeks. And I keep saying it. So you don't go and make any payments online and then come and be telling us, I need to see you. I need to see you. See me now. I am fully booked for the next 4 to 6 weeks. That's why I came up with the healing program, which is the reparenting room, an emotional space that you can heal. For the next 3 months, I'm going to work with you as a group for you to heal. We'll heal collectively. And this is just going to be amazing because I can't afford to see people one-on-one because I have a heavy caseload. So if you want to be a part of that, please send us a DM. And you can drop a comment now. I have my staff going through the comment section. You can drop a comment if you want to be a part of the reparenting room. A 12 weeks, which is 3 months, healing program. So you do need healing. You do need to go for therapy. There are no quick fixes. Number 2, you need safe relationships that model healthy love. You need to be in relationship with people that makes you feel safe. You need to be in relationship with people that model healthy love. With people that are securely attached, not with people who would constantly make you ask yourself if you are okay. You can't be in relationship with people that will constantly make you feel like you don't have self-worth. That will make you question your self-worth. If you are in those kinds of relationship, this is, you've gotten the permission from me now. Please move away from those relationships. Unless they are marital relationship, then 2 of you should go for couples counseling. Do you understand me? 2 of you should go for couples counseling, go for couples therapy, and start healing together. But if it is just a relationship, it is not marriage, then you should move away from such relationship. Because you want relationships that model healthy love, because that's where you're moving to. Another way to heal is through self-soothing and emotional regulation tools. And I'll talk more about self-soothing and emotional regulation tools as we go along. So just keep joining my live. Turn on notification for when I go live. I go live every Tuesday around this time. If anything changes, we are always going to drop notifications ahead of time. So what you need are self-soothing and emotional regulation skills. You might ask me, what do you mean by self-soothing? The ability to sit with yourself and just be okay in that emotion without trying to look for something to do to get yourself out of it. And just regulate your emotion and feel good about yourself afterwards. So for instance, if what happened is that someone got you upset or somebody got you riled up, what I want you to do is to sit with yourself. Learn to sit with yourself. Learn to sit with yourself and soothe. If it's painful, if the experience was not palatable, just soothe yourself like you would soothe a baby till you feel good about yourself. And then regulate your emotions. Yes, this happened to me, but it is not who I am. Yes, this person said this about me, but that does not define who I am. I am okay, I am fine, and I am all right. You regulate your emotions. And these are tools you can find online. You can Google them. You can find these tools online. Lastly, boundaries and communication. If you have any question, please drop your questions in the comments, and I'll spend the next 10 minutes afterwards to answer your questions. If you have any questions, please drop them. How to heal your attachment wounds. Lastly is boundaries and communication. You want to start setting boundaries, emotional boundaries. Should I allow people hurt me this way? What are the words that hurt me? How do I protect myself from hurtful words? How do I protect myself from how people make me feel? What are the things I will never allow myself to feel? You know, I shouldn't let people get to this point. I should set boundaries. Once somebody starts sounding this way, I don't think I want to be a part of the conversation anymore. I think at that point I'll walk away from that conversation because it is not good for me. You want to set boundaries. Boundaries simply means this is the line where our interactions stop because I don't want you to hurt me. Boundary simply means I am protecting myself. And there is nothing wrong with you protecting yourself. There is nothing wrong with that. Setting boundaries simply means that you love yourself enough. You choose you. You value yourself enough to protect her. Because if you don't, it's easy to easily get carried away by what people say. And it will hurt you, especially if you don't have a strong coping mechanism. It will be whatever anybody says will get to you, and you'll always be hurt. And for every time you're hurt and wounded, you are re-traumatizing yourself. You know, those wounds that you haven't healed yet, it hurts the wound all over again. And then you find yourself being so emotional when all you need to do is to set boundaries. How do you set boundaries? It is so simple. Start by saying no to the things that does not make you happy. Start by saying no to all those unnecessary requests from people. You don't have to say yes to everybody. I know it can be hard, but can you try? Say yes only when it suits you and you're comfortable with it. And it does not make you feel bad. It does not affect your time or anything. It is the right thing to do. Because if you had a traumatic childhood, then you are a trauma survivor. You might have the tendency to want to overplease people. And that would affect your boundaries. But if you set boundaries, it will reduce your overpleasing or people-pleasing skills. Or you will not necessarily have to please everybody because you have a boundary. You would always check, this request, is it comfortable for me? Do I feel comfortable? You should always check with yourself. Do I feel comfortable? Is this okay for me? If this is not okay for me, then I'm going to say no. And when you say no, please avoid over-explaining yourself. Because whenever you over-explain yourself after you've said no to someone, you're simply just saying, I would have said yes, so it's because of this, it's because of that. So for the person to not view you as a bad person. But the truth of the matter is, who really cares? Because no matter what you do, people would think of you what they want to think of you. You are not in control of what people think about you. So why don't you do you? Setting boundaries and communication is important. You want to communicate your needs as clear as possible. What you need from your partner, you want to communicate it. And communication is important. Clear communication. You can't have communication breakdown every now and then because you don't understand each other. You keep having the 6 and 9 approach to things. You never agree on anything. That is not good for your nervous system. You want to be able to communicate in very clear terms. And for you, when someone is talking to you, listen. Don't listen to respond. Listen to understand. And when the person is done talking, make sure you understand the person. If you do not understand, you can always ask, well, you said XYZ. I don't think I understood you. Can you explain your point? So these are the things that you need to do to heal your attachment wounds. Since there is no question, I'm excited that I had all of you join us today to talk about attachment styles. And what I want you to know is that just because you have these attachment styles does not mean that there is something wrong with you. It simply just means that based on your childhood, you were conditioned to have this type of attachment style and you can heal from it. So if you're ready to stop chasing and running away from love and jumping from one relationship to another and flaking in your relationship, I am inviting you to join the Reparenting Room. The Reparenting Room is a 12-week healing cycle for women. Only for women who are ready to break the cycle. It starts July 1st. All you have to do is to DM us the word heal, and we are going to onboard you to the program. It's going to be for a whole 12 weeks, which is 3 months. And you're going to heal at your own pace with other women, and men are also invited. You're going to heal with other women and you're going to heal at a very deep level. All right. So this video will be on replay and you can catch it on my page. Make sure that you're following me. And I would like to see you next week, Tuesday, 3:30 p.m. West African time. Namaste.